So every single FNAF fan has been asking this one question: when will the Ruin DLC come out? And well, after doing some research, gather enough evidence, I believe I have a potential answer as to when the DLC could come out. So sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. So we've been showing many things, guys, from teaser images to the trailer to not to mention the month and the year as the DLC could come out. The only thing that's missing is the date itself. At first, a lot of people thought that the DLC would come out on the 4th of July, and the reason being because if you go into FNAF Security Breach and if you go into the office where you're near the underground kitchen where you have to fight off against Chica, on the wall there's a calendar, and on that calendar on the month of July it shows the number 4 circled. And a lot of people thought that, oh, 4th of July, which means that the DLC could potentially come out. Well, we also have to remember that the 4th of July is also Independence Day, and that is a national American holiday. So of course that would mean that a lot of people were spending time with their friends, family members, going out of town, and also that Steelwood Studios, for people who work there as well, will also do the same thing. So if the DLC isn't coming out on the 4th of July, what does this mean? Well, an interesting thing that I find out is that the 4th of July was actually supposed to be where the FNAF book Tales from the Pizza Place number 7, Tiger Rock, was actually supposed to come out. However, that book then got pushed back to be published instead on July 18th of this year, which means now we can narrow the DLC to come out anywhere throughout the 8th of July through the 18th. However, we can squeeze this down even further. If we actually go to the Steam website, if you actually type in FNAF Security Breach, we can see that FNAF Security Breach is on sale for 50% off, and that the sale lasts until the 13th of July. So with Security Breach being part of a big summer sale going with other these games too, which means that they're simply preparing their game for something big, in this case the Ruin DLC. So with this game being half off, this will encourage people to buy the game, play it, understand the lore, so that way they can be ready for the DLC. So with this sale lasting until the end of July 13th, and that the book being pushed back to July 18th, we can actually arrange the DLC to come out anywhere between the 14th of July to the 18th. However, we want to narrow it down to an exact date, and I believe I have a way of doing so. So in order to get an exact date of the DLC's release, we actually need to look back at the previous FNAF games that came out beforehand. FNAF Hell Wanted came out on a Tuesday, FNAF Curse of Dreadbear came out on a Wednesday, and that FNAF Security Breach dropped on a Thursday, which means that the DLC will come out on a Friday. And what is Friday exactly? July 14th. So we're potentially looking at July 14th to be the day of the DLC's release, unless Steelwood Studios just decides to just delay the DLC like they did with the game previously, and just, yeah, we're all just left sad and empty. And so with the DLC potentially coming out on the 14th, it should actually be a reasonable day, because this will allow the DLC to be out for a few days, and then from people playing the DLC and discovering new things in the game, people always come up with their own theories and speculations, and then from there we'll have to answer some of these theories and speculations with the books, which then we can also use the book that's coming out on the 18th to answer these theories and questions. So the next thing I actually want to talk to you guys about is all the teaser images as well as the trailer that we've seen for the Ruin DLC. Within one of my previous streams, one of my viewers actually made this comment right here. He says that one thing I noticed is that in the Ruin poster it focused on Chica, the gameplay trailer focused on Rotzi, and then the teaser images from Dako's stream focus on Monty. And so I find this content to be very interesting, because obviously when we play Security Breach, we have to avoid these animatronics and eventually deal with them in different boss fights, and they become shattered versions of themselves. And with this whole concept here, all the animatronics being specifically showcased within different things such as the trailers and screenshots, it can present two things here. The first one being is that, well, the animatronics just is flat out still going to be corrupt and evil, and then we have no choice then but to destroy them, and it's just a sad ending for all of them. Or the second option is that we could potentially free all the animatronics within the DLC. And you may be wondering how we're going to be able to free the animatronics. Well, here's my answer. If we actually look at Rotzi with new design here, by looking at her face, we see that there are two small holes that matches the end and hack remote tool itself. Meaning that not only Rotzi can be set back to safe mode, but eventually we could take her down the parts of servers, clear up the virus, and eventually do the exact same thing for the other animatronics too. And of course, the other animatronics may have special compartments located in different areas of their endoskeleton in order to set them back into safe mode as well. Another note here is that these animatronics can be free in specific order. So first it could be Rotzi and Wolf, then Chica, and eventually Monty himself. And speaking of free animatronics, let's talk about Vanny. So a lot of people have been insinuating back and forth as to whether or not Vanny will be in the Ruin DLC due to not making an appearance at all within the trailer. The closest thing we got to Vanny was the Vanny mask. However, we can use the teasers in the trailer itself to showcase how she will be in the DLC. If we look at this image right here, there appears to be not a lot going on, just simply just size the area is being broken down and dusty and dirty completely, not to mention the stat bottle here from the image. However, if we look very closely from the shadows, we can see some bunny ears. And so with the pizza plates having this ruined, abandoned dark theme too, Vanny can use the shadows and under these dark hiding spots to get a jump on Cassie while she's looking for Gregory. And this will actually make Vanny's character a lot more scary, not as scary as Afton, but still pretty much up to the point where you always have to be looking around surroundings, make sure that there's nothing in the dark ready to get you. Going back to the Vanny mask, eventually at some point Cassie is going to get her hands on it. The question is how she's going to get it. Well, I believe the answer is that Cassie is going to free Vanessa of Glitchtrap's control. After all, we do have to remember that Gregory and Freddy are all on the ground and such, and so because they're on the ground and deal with Bird Trapper thing and that he's calling out for Cassie's help, he simply just does have the time to free Vanessa, so therefore Vanessa is still under the influence of Glitchtrap. If we actually go back to the computer teasers that were shown way a while back, we can see two color logos at the bottom left corner, a purple logo and and a green logo. Now, at first, people couldn't insinuate as to what this could possibly mean, but I figured something out. This is where we take our protagonist Cassie and our antagonist Vanessa. Vanessa's purple fingernails actually matches the purple logo, and that Cassie's green fingernails matches the green logo itself. What's even more interesting is that these logos give special messages. The purple logo gives the message voices becoming screens, and that the green logo gives the message shadows within shadows. Now, what I believe voices becoming screens means this is Vanessa hearing the Glitchtrap's voice and under his control and everything as such. However, later on throughout the game, when we do free her in the Princess Quest ending, not only do we hear her scream, but we hear Glitchtrap scream as well. And what I believe the line shadows within shadows is insinuating is that every time Cassie puts on the Vanity Mask, we see that Glitchtrap is growing more and more within the shadows itself. Another thing that this could insinuate is that there's potentially a bigger threat that is growing within the shadows, and that the Glitchtrap virus and everything else is only just mainly the front face to distract us from this bigger threat. Also, when looking at Glitchtrap here, we can see that there's both a purple and green glitchy texture emitting off his body, which could further back up this whole concept. At the end of the day, this is all merely speculation. That one thing's for sure is that all our questions that we do have will get answered within the Rune DLC's release. And although we may or may not know the Princess Quest ending is canon, we can see that in some shape or fashion that the Princess Quest ending is also insinuating some sort of way within the Rune DLC itself. Now, I believe there actually be two ways to free Vanessa of Glitchtrap's control. The first way could be is that we need to locate all the Princess Quest minigames within the Pizza Place, because after all, if she's still under control of the Glitchtrap virus, that means the machines have to still be running. And also, not to mention, when we do play the third Princess Quest game, at the end there is a purple door, and within that purple door there is a green lock, and guess what? We need a green key to unlock it, and who would that green key be? Cassie. Or the second thing, that there could be some sort of unknown way that is yet to be introduced as to how we can free Vanessa of the Glitchtrap virus. And that Cassie herself is the key to free Vanessa of the Glitchtrap virus. Over there, she'll be able to use the mask to go invisible and void other animatronics, but however, she can't use the mask too long, otherwise she's going to be slowly corrupted by the Glitchtrap virus. And so together with all the tools she collected, plus the Vanity Mask and the freed animatronics, they'll eventually be able to locate Gregory and leave the ruins behind for good. And that right there covers everything within this video. Like I said, if y'all guys feel like I missed out on anything, or if y'all guys have any theories or questions on your own, make sure you guys leave it in the comment section. If you guys want to watch more FNAF content, make sure you guys click on one of these videos on screen right here. But I want to say thanks again so much for love, support, and watching this video. And as always, guys, stay safe, stay positive, be fun. Remember, the grind never stops. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, y'all.